Can we do that?
What do you want to talk about?
Music, what else?
Oh, well, you could talk about trains and planes with us, but
Right.
that's how we spend our weekend. We've been looking at old trains and old planes and
really?
having
Well,
a wonderful time.
Let's do a little sit down here.
We're working on a boat right now. We're going to sit.
Walt, how do you want to do this? Sit down? We could do that.
Yeah.
That'd take longer than the day.
Let's talk about the meaning of music in life.
Well, there you go.
Even more. Before we get too far into it, I do want to express my personal thanks because you too did instill in me a love of music.
Great.
And that led to 20 years of following a particular rock and roll band because I fell so in love with music and I had my mind opened up to music as a young boy. I fell in love with a particular rock and roll band and I followed them.
What was that band?
Grateful Dead.
Of course.
I was a Deadhead.
Yeah,
And
my youngest son was too.
I followed for 20 years, and thanks to you, I really understood the music. They made me feel it, but I understood the music that you guys had taught me earlier. So my personal thanks to both of you for
Well,
that.
thank you for
The dead, thank you.
right for being such an open and receptive subject.
Well, there's a few other things that helped me open my mind in those days too, but we won't talk
We
about
won't talk about that. Right.
You were always fun to have in class, I'll say that.
Never a dull moment.
Not with Rex, no.
Yep. No, he was always very cooperative and never spoke out. Never, he just wondered if there was anything there.
Fly under the radar. He's under the radar.
Yes, right.
Walt, here we are. You find us here today once again on the famous Bearcat 59 red carpet afternoon. I'm sitting here talking with Janet Betts and
Good old what's his name?
Jack Renner.
I hope you're a good editor.
I do, Jack, I am sorry. I just drew a total blank off.
Don't give it another thought.
Cut that part. Let's begin with I'm sitting here.
Take two.
Take two. Go.
Take two.
Good afternoon, Walt. Once again, here we are at the Bearcat 59 red carpet. I'm sitting here happily with two of music instructors from the Willshire Public School, Janet Betts and Jack Renner. I want to personally say that these two helped me understand music. As a young rebellious teenager, I had a lot of other things on my mind, but they gave me music and it stayed with me the rest of my life. So I personally want to thank these two. I'd like to ask them a few questions about their backgrounds, what they felt they brought to Willshire, and what they left Willshire with. I'll start with Janet Betts first. Janet, what did you bring to Willshire for us? What do you think you brought to us?
Well, I had a lot of experience, and I had taught privately, and I had a lot of opportunities to perform in high school and college with all different groups. I loved the vocal, and I loved the band, and I always wanted to be a band director. So when this opportunity came, this was really great. And what I left with was a wonderful knowledge of not only of students, but good students, wonderful community, and I left unwillingly in a way. I wanted to go back and finish my education, but it was such a wonderful experience, and I've told several people it's the best thing I ever did for myself. It was a great experience, and the wonderful thing for me about it, I don't know how you felt about it, but when I walked into that building, anything that happened in music was going to be my responsibility. And that was a great learning experience for me because I was with the first graders and then I was with the high schoolers, and everything that happened in music, I had to make it happen. And that was boy, if that wasn't a great way to start teaching music, I don't know if anything could have been better. But the kids there were what was special. And you can talk about elegant things.
We'll come back to you in a second.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Well, I mean, you're right. We were Miss or Mr. Music, grades 1 through 12. How many times did we lead and sing "I'm a Little Teapot" or "Eensy Weensy Spider"? Right. Itsy Bitsy. Right. Well, I think what I brought to Willshire was the legacy that I brought from having been a member of all the top performing groups at Ohio State. And I had a vision of excellence that I brought with me, and by golly, I was gonna force that on the students, whether they wanted it or not.
Yeah.
And it was just I started my college career saying I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a professional musician. And I got talked out of that pretty fast by the director of the School of Music, who gave me a real dressing down.
Realistic.
Yes, right, a dose of reality. And when Janet came back and said she was leaving the job and was hoping that one of her classmates might be interested, I said, I'll go.
I'll do it.
Yeah. And as you said, it turned out to be one of the best things I ever did. I mean, it taught me that I really did enjoy being a teacher. And here I am, 57 years later, I'm still teaching. And you're still teaching. And I mean, I know I was tough and rough, and didn't let people get away with anything. But we got that superior in the state contest, and that I think was great for the community because it was basketball.
That's right.
And for a music group, I mean, we made front page of the Willshire Herald, and it was just great. I have a lot of great memories from there.
I was so proud of that choir when somebody, maybe you sent me the paper, and I was so thrilled. I thought, what a wonderful thing.
Well, I think you're both right. I think you did bring one of those finer arts, as it was, to our community. You're right, Jack. Up until then, it was basketball in season, baseball in season, and that's what you. And if I remember right, that's probably what the school board put their resources behind.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think they put it behind much of anything else.
Yeah.
But you two managed to bring us a fine revision, a little bit different quality of life.
Thank you.
I think most of us truly benefited from what you brought to us. I know I did.
Well, thank you.
I've had more than one person here today tell me that they, as you just said, have taken away a love of music from what they got from us.
And that's so wonderful. Now, unlike Jack, from the time I was 4, I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't know what I wanted to teach, but I wanted to teach. And I went to Interlochen just before the Arts Academy up at Interlochen, Michigan, and I had the opportunity to go there the summer before my senior year, and I came home and I said, I can't teach anything but music. I have to share this wonderful thing that we have in our lives called music. And it doesn't matter if you're, like you said, you went to rock with it, other kids went to classical music, other kids are great appreciators of music, but when I came home from Interlochen, there wasn't anything else for me. I wanted to teach music, but I just knew from the time I was 4, I wanted to be a teacher.
Well, and I think that was one of the things that we as a class benefited from. I think some instructors, some teachers really saw potential in some of us and pushed us to realize our potential, And so, I think that dream of wanting to be a teacher and realizing your dream probably helped us realize some of our dreams too. So I thank you for the class of '59 for what you gave us. We hope we gave something back to each of you.
You gave a lot to us.
We wouldn't be here if you hadn't.
Absolutely.
We had a lot of guts, but we managed to, I don't know about you, I couldn't walk into a high school classroom now. I mean, things are just so different. I mean, I teach college students at a music conservatory. I'm teaching something they really want to learn.
Yeah.
So, you walk in and they're just like sponges. They're soaking it up.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
I think that's the big difference is they're so busy studying for the tests that there's no time for things such as what we were doing in those days. They cancel the band, they cancel a choir so that they can get these tests taken, and I think that's one of the worst things ever imposed on the American public.
Yeah, it's a real detriment.
I really do, because it doesn't allow for creativity in the children, and there's creativity everywhere, and your class is a prime example of that. Look at all the things you have done as a class. It's really amazing, and we have to be so proud of the fact that that we had a part in that.
Yeah.
And you truly did, both of you.
Thank you for letting us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you have it, Walt. Words of wisdom for the class of 59. Thank you.
Oh, did you get a picture of me scratching my ear?
Okay, Walt, here we are today, once again on the Bearcat 59 Red Carpet Parade. We've got the infamous, the truly infamous Bob Flash Stetler. Bob, how'd you get that name, Flash?
I don't have any idea.
Well, if I remember right, it comes out of us playing basketball together.
Yeah.
You were one of the fastest ones on the court.
Yeah.
You and Fred James are the fastest ones on the court. Fred got named Fred, and you got named Flash. So there's the two F's in the background.
Yeah.
What do you think about all this going on here today, Bob?
Great.
This whole communion thing.
It's great.
Really great. How's it great?
You get to see everybody. Get to talk to everybody. Yeah.
Bob's one of the few people who have probably still got his original Bearcat basketball jacket, his letter jacket. Most of us have packed him away, forgotten about him, let him rot, whatever. But Bob keeps his in truly good condition. You going to wear that tonight, Bob?
No.
No?
Probably not, no.
Not going to wear it? Why not?
Might get it dirty.
As you can tell, Bob takes care of his stuff. He has a 2000 vintage Jaguar that's in pristine condition, and it's as good as his jacket ever was. Bob, any final words for class of 59?
No. Just glad to be here.
Keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. Here we are on the Bearcat 59 Red Carpet Afternoon Brunch, held in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're lucky to have our gracious host with us at the moment, Marlene Purdy. Marlene, welcome.
Hi there, Rex. Oh, this has been so much fun. You can't believe. I wanted to do this 5 years ago when I was outvoted, and so I fought and I got it here this year.
I'm glad we voted right for once. Why did you decide to do this for this crowd?
Because number one, I like to entertain. And number two, I love my classmates.
You're so good at
And
it.
so we could just put everybody together.
Well, I think it's really wonderful, really unique that you've done this for us. I want to thank you for the class, for hosting us. Do you have a particular perspective from? You were a country girl.
I was
country
not
boys.
a townie. I
were
was
not
a
a townie.
country. I was one of the country girls.
Give us your perspective on the class of 59 from a country girl's perspective.
It was a neat class. We bonded very well, I thought, and we stayed that way. And the interesting part, it's not necessarily this group of people with sticking together. It's just kind of intermingled. Mm-hmm. The guys and the gals, and we're just friends.
And I think that's one of the unique parts about it. The other part I always think unique is most of our families knew each other.
Yeah, and
oftentimes they were married to each other.
Yeah, and the thing is, you could go out. Oh, I'm going to tell a tale out of school.
Uh-oh.
Remember the time you and Jim Cowan rode your bicycles out to our house 4.5 miles out in the country?
You know, I couldn't do that today.
I have pictures of it.
You got proof. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, no. When I got my bicycle, that was freedom. That represented freedom to me. That little town that we grew up in, I was everywhere on that bicycle.
And you weren't very old when you rode all the way out there.
I,
Probably junior high, maybe?
Yeah, lucky to be junior high, probably.
Yeah.
And that was probably my first ride to meet a girl.
Oh.
And I'm glad it was a Dietrich.
But we were just friends.
It was. It was just
Everybody
truly.
was friends, and
Yeah, and I think the other thing about it is we generally like each other.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons, we like each other. You know,
Yeah.
we've accepted each other and we've liked each other, and all these years it's stuck together. Any words of wisdom for us as we go into our later years of retirement here?
let's keep what we have.
And stay well, my dear.
Okay.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
a pleasure.
you. Oh, okay. Adios.
Okay, so you're just off the cuff here.
It's truly off the cuff, my dear.
Okay.
Truly off the cuff.
No script.
None.
None, okay.
We do this at, let's say, al fresco. Afternoon, Walt. Once again, here we are in the world famous Bearcat 59 red carpet afternoon following our brunch. We all had a terrific brunch. I'm standing here with Sylvia. Sylvia used to be my neighbor here in town. Sylvia, from a town girl's perspective, tell me what you think about this class and the little town of Willshire that we grew up in.
Well, Rex, I'll tell you what. I'm just very proud of everybody that was in our class and how well they have done and how far they have come, and I'm just real pleased and glad to be here, and I think everyone has enjoyed it. And but I think Willshire has done a great job with all of us.
Well, as we've talked before, I think most of our families knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
They did.
our fathers worked together, they knew each other.
Absolutely.
Our
Yes.
mothers were in the same civic associations together.
Eastern Star.
Forgot about the Eastern
Yes,
Star.
yes.
But all those institutions gave us a really good start. That little town allowed us to bond. What do you think, other than, why did we bond? Why did this town bond like we did? Or this class, I mean.
I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer, but you know, we just all were very accepting of each other, and we grew up from the time we were in first grade all the way up through high school for the most of us. And you know, I just think it was just something that was meant to be. It was a destiny, and we have all stayed together and kept in contact. And it's really a blessing. And when I look back, as I've moved away and look back, what a solid foundation Willshire was, and the families and the unit, and I just think we're very fortunate. I think it's a little on the rare side that you know that this has, because I know some of the classes have not stayed together like we have, and I just think it's just the neatest thing, and we've kept our friendship, and we're a close-knit bunch.
We truly are. We remain that.
We really are.
Remain
Yeah,
that way.
absolutely.
Any final words of wisdom as the bunch here grows into our later retirement years?
Not really wisdom. I pray for wisdom and knowledge. I still am. I'm on my journey, let me tell you. No, not really. I just wish everybody well and good health and Godspeed, and everybody seems to be happy and have done well with their families. And we all have our ups and downs, but you know, that's life. That's our journey. So I just wish everyone well, and I've just really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There you have it, Walt. More words of wisdom from one of our classmates.
It's noise. It keeps me alert.
Well, if I do, it just antagonizes me most of the time. I fall asleep early.
Yeah.
We'll go out in the evening, sit and watch television, and by 10 o'clock I'm out.
Are you?
Television just bores me.
You ready?
Oh. Okay. Am I on the screen?
Okay, 1, 2, go.
You listen, Connie.
Afternoon, Walt. Once again, here we are in a Bearcat 59 red carpet special, the hour after brunch. I'm sitting here with Fred and Janet, a mixed couple, as you can see. One's from the class of 1960, that's Janet. One's from the class of the glorious class of 59, and that would be Fred. So it's our only mixed couple in this area right now. So I want to get on with a couple of questions. First of all, how does it feel to be married to a younger woman?
That's great.
He has to say that.
Yeah,
Fred, you just had some health issues. Are you back into golf now?
I am.
You doing good? How far are you playing now?
I played about 14 rounds this year so far, and my best score has been 82. But when you're used to shooting 70 for 2, it's a little hard. But it's coming. I'm
Good.
I feel good about it.
Good. I'm glad you're back with us. I'm glad you're back in the game.
Thank you.
Janet, from a younger girl's perspective, how is it being married to one of the members of the one glorious member of the glorious cast of 59?
Best all around.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. What? We're interviewing, Mary. Don't bother us.
You had your turn.
Oh, okay.
You haven't had your turn?
Oh.
Oh, you have? I'm sorry. I thought it was
What,
married.
now you have to repeat
we gotta
that
cut
question.
all that. We got to cut all
We have
that.
to repeat that question.
Okay.
What's
Now,
it like?
Janet, as a member who's married to one of the more glorious members of the class of 59, how does it feel?
Well, I picked him out when I was 14. Doesn't that tell you something?
It's been 14 ever since, right?
He was 16. He had a car.
He had a car.
He had driver's license.
Was that one of the reasons?
So, yeah, happy hours roller rink. That was our first date.
The old Sunset Park roller rink?
No, the one out on Clem's Lake, that one east of Decatur.
Oh, you were adventuresome, weren't you?
Yeah, well,
You
it
were
was
truly
Duffy's.
adventuresome.
It was Duffy's church party.
Oh, okay.
We didn't ever go that
Duff
far.
and Rose.
Yeah, Duffy and Rose. Double
Well,
date.
Fred, what do you think about this gathering here this afternoon?
This gathering?
Yeah.
There's a lot more people here than I thought there would be. It was nice, it really is.
Really good.
He didn't know who Mr. Renner was.
I didn't recognize Mr. Renner.
And Mr. Renner threw him out of choir.
That's why.
him out,
That's probably why
moved
you
him
didn't
out.
recognize. Why did he throw you out of choir?
Well,
We had trouble. I sang tenor, but I didn't know how to sing tenor. And he says, "How come you tenors are having trouble? So much trouble with this?" I said, "I don't know. You're the boss. You tell me."
yeah, he said, "You're the teacher. You tell me." He physically threw him out. Isn't that
Well,
terrible?
we did have
He'd go
some
in
rough-
jail.
We, did-
Right? He'd be in jail.
we had
now.
some rough music sessions in there.
Well, you weren't serious
What does
about
it feel
your
like
craft.
for you being a member of the class of '60? What's it feel like to see this gathering together?
Well,
as a
we don't do
59?
too much. Our class every 10 years or so, and that's okay because they're kind of boring. And
This class
so-
has been pretty. This class has been
This-
pretty.
I adopted
pretty
into
consistent.
this class.
Compared
That's
to
what I say. You're
ours.
part of the class
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snuck
She's
in.
always been 59.
Yeah.
Fred, any words of wisdom as we enter into our final years of retirement here?
Oh,
Ooh.
just stay healthy. eat right, exercise, and,
Stay ahead
and,
of your
find
injuries.
somebody that'll take care of you.
Yeah. Stay ahead
Especially
of
when
your
you're 14.
Stay of your health problems. Stay ahead of them. Don't get behind them.
Well, and I think that's
Stay in
been one of the
front of
messages just about everybody's had is,
Yeah.
as we look at it, stay healthy, find the right foods, do the right
Yeah.
exercises, and
Right.
so forth.
We hear you're doing good. We're glad.
We're into it.
Yeah,
We
that's
started
great.
we started our exercise program. We lived a good life for our first year in
Yeah.
Florida, and it took a toll on us. Now we're into it. Any final words of wisdom for you as you see this crowd begin to prepare for its reunion tonight?
Well, just be safe. Be happy.
Enjoy.
Enjoy life.
There you have it, Walt. More fine words from our classmates. Be healthy, be wise, and stay on it. Stay on it.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yep.
Well, you haven't been around this class.
Afternoon, Walt. Well, once again, here we are at the Bearcat 59 Red Cross Special Afternoon. With me are two Bear 59 guests. I've got Janet James. She married Fred James in our class, and also Connie Painter. She married Rex Painter in our class. I'm happy to say she did that. What I'd like to do is kind of get a perspective from both of you is how it feels to be married to the class of 59. And as you watch what goes on here this afternoon and watch how this crowd behaves, kind of compare it to your own years and let me know what you think the differences are. But first, your perspective. Connie?
I'm so impressed with the connection. I mean, a true from the heart connection. And I know over the last couple years, whenever anybody has any health issues or something happened in the family, I've been so impressed with the emails that just go from one to the other, and there's such a strong bond and connection. And even though some of the classmates haven't seen each other in a couple years, as soon as you're together,
there.
it's as if you see each other every day. There's that kind of a warmth and connection, and that's really rare to see in today's world.
Yeah, that's
True.
right.
We like to think that ourselves.
Yeah.
Janet, your
What
thoughts?
was the question
What was the
again?
question again?
It's been
That's
so
part of
long. This girl didn't have much to say. Answered well.
That's what it is. From another class's perspective, as you watch this
Well,
going on.
okay, I know. The one thing that's different, you guys work at it. You put effort in it. It takes an effort to accomplish something. And if someone doesn't go ahead and start the process and keep it going, it just dwindles out. And that's kind of what our class has dwindled out.
observation.
Because I'm not doing it all the time. I did it a few times every 5 years or so. And it's like, no, let someone else do it. And then that's what happens because you have all followers and no leaders. Your class had a lot of leaders.
That's a great observation.
Yeah, our class is blessed with a lot of leaders.
I know.
Each of us had something in mind as a
Yeah.
leadership. Many times we went in a lot of different directions
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of that. You know.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that does keep us in mind, as Connie's mentioned, is that the use
We're
of
interviewing
emails.
right now.
We're kind of in that generation that came into email. Email was not natural
Yeah,
for us,
no.
but we kind of took to it. As Connie said, once somebody has a health issue or there's a new grandchild, we all know about it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why that happens, and I've yet to really put my finger on why that happens. That we do that, why we have that interest in each other.
We're nosy.
Well, is
could
it
be.
more about that sense of belonging,
Yeah.
that connection? And I think you said
Yeah,
the key
you keep
word
it together.
is in order for relationships to be successful is you have to nurture it. You have to
Yeah.
take care of
Put
it. You have to
something
put
into it.
effort.
Yeah.
And you all do.
Yeah.
You put effort all year long
Yeah.
and every
Everybody
single year
contributes.
to
Yeah.
stay connected. So you foster and you
Yeah.
grow
Right.
and nurture that relationship.
That's right. And if it doesn't, it dwindles. So
Why do you think some classes don't do that? We all came from Wilshire Public.
it has to do with the leadership, I think. We used to just say, well, the old president can do it every year. Well, they aren't going to. It's been 50 years. It's not going to happen.
They don't want to do it.
And they are, because it's not their personality to take over and plan something and do it. It's not going to happen. So if you don't have someone that starts it, they aren't going to do it. So
And I think we had, and it's probably mostly the girls in the class that took the leadership role for
class,
something like
I think
this,
so. Yeah,
for social.
probably, yeah.
I think it was the triangle of Mary and Rosie and Marlene
Yeah.
that kind of really, that spirit kind of infests all of us. Once we see it and it comes through, we kind of pick it up, and I think we all kind of begin
because
to
you all
run with it.
follow up. I mean,
Yeah.
if you didn't care, you'd say, well, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
But you all care.
Yeah. It was just like this question here when Connie and I were in Florida, and it came time for reunion.
Yeah.
You know, I got
That's
on
an
the,
effort.
I got on the phone. I got on the phone to Vince. Got on the phone to
Yeah,
Buck.
I know it,
Got on the
see?
phone to Bob and say,
Yeah.
hey, you know. So it's kind of like we really want to do this,
Yeah, but you
even
need
though we
nudged.
got
You need
yeah, need a little
gently
nudge.
nudged.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
kind
they
of
make it a priority, you
Yeah.
know, that no matter what else is going on in your life, because you always have things going on, is this becomes the top priority.
Right,
It's getting
yeah.
together with
Yeah.
all your classmates.
Yeah.
And that's really special.
Now, finally, what does this make you want to do with your classes?
I'll just stick with the class of 59.
And you're very welcome, my dear.
I like it here.
Well, I do stay connected to my class, and I've gone to all the reunions, and I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
do
special.
too, yeah.
You know, I love to see how people, what they've done with their life, and then
Yeah.
the journey that they've taken, and
Yeah.
I'm always interested in knowing that.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Because we all, you know, grew up together in
Yeah.
small town. You know, your class was Willshire,
Yeah.
mine was Van Wert itself. But you know, the Midwest is really special. You know, we meet people from all over the country, and there's something so unique about the Midwest. We were raised with really good, wholesome Christian values,
Yeah.
and that stuck with every single person in your class, no matter where they lived in the United States or what path they've taken.
Yeah.
And so to come back, you're among people who have the same values
Yes,
as you.
yeah.
And that's really comforting. And so once every couple years, to have that connection is, I think, really good for your soul.
I do too. Yeah.
Very good. It's
healthy.
very, very cleansing for us.
Yeah.
Very healthy. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Walt. More words of wisdom of why this class is so successful.
From the outside looking in. Yes. You did great.
Thank you. Thanks for, you just made us.
Once again, here we are at the world famous Bearcat 59 red carpet special afternoon. Takes you back to your cheerleading days, doesn't it?
Seventh grade cheerleaders, all the farther I'm about to go.
Hey, that was one of our better years.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, we're sitting here with Rosie Myers, better known to us as Rose Bumgardner, from the glorious city of Chattanooga, Ohio.
So true.
We were really lucky to have Chattanooga incorporated into the Wilshire Public School District.
Some of the best. Some of the best came from
Some of the
Chat.
best came
Yeah.
from that.
Yes.
Great baseball players and basketball players,
Exactly.
as well as cheerleaders came from Chattanooga.
Exactly.
We're thankful for that. Rose, I'd like to get your perspective on how do you feel about this connection that the class of 59 has with each other?
I think it is super great. A lot of classes do not have the camaraderie that we do, and I look forward to all of our get-togethers. As a matter of fact, I get together almost 3 times a year with 2 or 3 of the classmates. Yes, and when we can all get together, it's just a wonderful thing.
Can you name what it is that comes from?
You know what Mary said a little bit ago? We're just all good people.
Yeah.
I think you know, we never fought much. We got along. We respect each other. We like to be around each other.
Well, and I think it says something for our communities that we were raised in. Our communities were small.
Exactly.
Our families knew each other. Everybody knew everybody. In most cases, they were married to each other.
That's so true.
So, I think it made for a really, really intimate connection.
I believe you are so right, Rex. Yes.
It's one of the things that bound us. I can remember playing kick the can on the streets of Willshire after dark, and somebody's dad would whistle, like Jim Cown's dad, we'd all have to run home.
Run home.
That was the nature.
Exactly.
But we were allowed to do that. Today, I wouldn't put my kids on the street.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, and in chat we played red and green light. Let's kick the can, but it was red and green light.
What was it like being raised in Chat?
You know what? I have so many fond memories because Chat was a small town, but yet it had 2 grocery stores. It had 2 garages, which my uncle owned one of them. It had the sawmill, which my dad ran. It had a blacksmith shop. And my dad even says it used to have a funeral home, so everything you needed was there.
And you know the one true thing that keeps standing there? The Chattanooga Bar.
Exactly.
That's an institution. It
that
stood
is.
there, I think, before time began.
I think you are so right.
I'd forgotten that your dad had the blacksmith shop there.
No, it was a sawmill. The sawmill, yes.
The sawmill.
Yes.
I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of good memories about Chattanooga.
Yes, really cool.
It's changed a lot. Any final words of wisdom as we go into our next stage of retirement?
Final words of wisdom. I tell you, we are embracing retirement. We are traveling a lot because our kids are here, there, and everywhere in the United States. We enjoy each other. We ballroom dance together, my husband and I, and we are really enjoying retirement.
Good. That's good to hear. I think that's pretty much true for our class. You know, we've entered into this part of the journey pretty gracefully.
That's so true. Just embrace it with a gusto.
That's all
I
right.
am.
There you have it, Walt. Some more final words of wisdom for the class. Embrace your journey with gusto. Thank you, Rose.
Okay, thank you.
Well, here we are, Walt, once again at the final end of today's journey. Today's dates, April 26, 2014. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the class of 1959 from Willshire Public School has just finished the pre-reunion 55th reunion brunch here at Marlene Purdy's place in Fort Wayne, Indiana. As I talked to our classmates, one of the things that impressed me most was the continued connectivity that we all have to each other. Somebody said that we no sooner get apart and we see each other again, it's like nothing ever stopped between us. We seem to be on this sort of thorough journey. Our complete class is on this journey. We're not sure about where our destination is, but we're all sharing, and somehow in that same journey, we've managed to identify each other when we were kids, and we've stuck together all these years. That's 55 years of connectivity, Walt. That's really, truly amazing in my view. The other thing is I think that we talked with our classmates, every one of them is really, really enjoying their retirement years. Some of us are in the later retirement, others are in mid-retirement, but what really came across today was joy and true fun that our class is having in their later years. People are traveling, they're seeing their grandchildren more often, some have taken up sports, most of us are into exercise regimens, we're watching our diets. We are truly, truly enjoying these years. I'm struck by what just hit my mind is that I'm enjoying this much as I did my youth in Willshire High and at Willshire Public School. That's it, Walt. Signing off, Rex Painter. Here we go. Thank you, Walt.